Yeah, now as we look at Rich Hill loosen it up on the field, the Astros starting lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. And you see Jose Altuve. He has struggled in the series, hitting .305 now, followed by George Springer and Carlos Correa. Middle three, Colby Rasmus, as you watch him exult after recent home runs, Evan Gattis and Tyler White. And the bottom three, Preston Tucker, Marwin Gonzalez, and Jason Castro, as the first pitch of the day is thrown.
First pitch.
92 miles an hour, a strike on Altuve. Trying to light the fire once again. Jose Altuve 0 for his last 9. Hill working quickly, misses in. Rich Hill, a guy that's been around. In fact, he's 36 years of age and has been in the major league since 2005. Came up originally with the Chicago Cubs. Pitch is driven left center field, deep, back at the wall. See ya! That's how you ignite things. Leadoff solo home run by Jose Altuve. And for Altuve, his 7th of the year. And he puts the Astros immediately on top, 1-0.
We knew he wasn't going to be hitless for too much longer, going hitless in the first 2 games of this series at Oakland Coliseum. That is the start the Astros want to see. A run on the board, big swing from Altuve, 2nd home run against Rich Hill this season.
8th career leadoff home run now for Jose Altuve, and the 4th time he's turned that trick this season, so he is on the move. It brings up George Springer. George is 0 for his last 5. It's been a quiet series for the bats. George on the breaking ball, hits it in the air, shallow in center field, and a tough play going out and making a nice play is Marcus Semien.
It was a very nice play. We're going to look at the strike zone, see where that pitch was to Altuve, brought to you by MD Anderson. Breaking ball almost looked like a slow pitch softball coming right back into Altuve, kept the hands back, the weight back, and then just unloaded on it deep into left center field.
Ball was well out in that deep part of the ballpark. 71 degrees as we begin play today. Carlos Correa at the plate, and Jeff Blum and Julio Morales talking about Carlos. I think there's the sense, at least I feel at Blummer, that at 271 he's well below what we all feel like he's capable of doing.
Yeah, he's got plenty left. But again, have an idea how good the kid is when we say he's struggling at 271.
Rich Hill with a nice pace here early in the ball game, has a 1-2 count on the Rookie of the Year in the American League. He's been taking a lot of pitches. Backs away and takes one in. Jeff mentioned that home run allowed by Hill, just the 2nd he has yielded this season. Big slow curveball, that'll fill it. Rich Hill is making his 80th career start. His 6th on the season. He made 4 last year, and prior to that he hadn't made a start in the major league since 2009. Made 13 that year with Baltimore. So he had gone a long dry spell in terms of being a starting pitcher. He did, however, make 63 starts in 2013, or make 63 appearances, all in relief with Cleveland in 2013. And drawing the 1-out walk, Carlos Correa. He's aboard for Colby Rasmus.
This would be a good look on Supermo, brought to you by Mattress Firm, on that home run swing off of Jose Altuve.
Center fielder, number 28.
Smooth. If you look at Rich Hill's numbers on the season, comes in here with a 3-2 record, 2.42 ERA. That just climbed up a little bit, but having a tough time here at home with that 6.43 ERA.
So Colby Rasmus in that cleanup spot against the lefty. Drives one to left, not enough as Davis is back and makes the play. Correa went halfway. So 2 outs as Evan Gattis comes to the plate.
Batting in the 5th position, designated hitter, number 11.
For Evan Gattis, at .239 batting average. 1 home run that came here in the series. Fastball is way high, and reports about Hill that he'll get in funks where he can't find the strike zone, but the curveball is the pitch that'll get him back in there. That home run mentioned about Gattis, by Gattis rather, came in game 1 of the series. Good looking curveball misses.
Tell you what, if Rich Hill's not getting that, it's going to be a good day for the Houston Astros hitters.
Home plate umpire Todd Tichenor. The other umpires, Bill Miller, Pat Hoberg, and Brian Knight.
Right on that outside edge.
That's one as a pitcher you've got to have. Finds the other side of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. The Astros running game has tailed off in recent times. They have stolen 18, caught 10 times, and that's a big reason that running game has slowed down. The 18 bags, 3rd best in the league.
Well, apparently Gattis isn't looking for the heater.
Fastball slipping right through there, huh?
Good grief.
2-2 the count on Evan. Gattis in the series 2 for 7. Gets the heater and fouls it off. When you would find yourself looking for a breaking ball, then you'd get that heater right through the heart of the plate. Does that change your thinking, or can you stay with that? For me, that was a tendency to say, man, I'm not going to give up on that pitch again.
How often did you ever look off speed?
Well,
I rarely did unless I was 100% sure.
It depended on the pitcher, that's for sure. Gattis down on strikes, and that'll do it. The Astros strike with the long ball by Jose Altuve. The 8th career leadoff home run for Mr. Big.
The 2nd position, right fielder, number 4.
One 0 Astros after a half an inning of play. Jose Altuve has struck for a long ball. For the Oakland A's, that starting lineup features Billy Burns in the top spot. Jed Lowry and Josh Reddick follow. In the middle 3, Chris Davis, Stephen Vogt, and Coco Crisp, the Astros killer. And the bottom 3, Chris Coghlan, Yonder Alonso, and Marcus Semien. Doug Fister starts things out with a fastball that misses low on Burns. Burns hitting .278. Switch hitter can run. You can see the infield corners drawn in. Two balls and no strikes. Heard Art Howe talking about Doug Fister and throughout his career, he has been a control master, a guy that doesn't walk many. And yet that last start, very unusual, a career high 7 walks issued. That over 6 innings. And he was good otherwise. It was a quality start. 6 innings of 4 hit ball, 3 runs against him. Two and 2 the count on Billy Burns.
Just living on the edge. As long as you get the call, you can.
Breaking ball hit sharply on the ground. Nice play by White. He'll take it to the bag, and out number 1.
There's Doug Fister's numbers.
Batting in the second
1.5 whip, working on that. Expect a lot of ground balls like you just saw. Big tall right-hander gets on top of that fastball. Doesn't throw hard, but tries to create a good downward plane with some late action on that sinker. Big curveball, occasional changeup. You see that quality start on the bottom with that. He was wild in the sense he had 7 walks, but he wasn't wild in the sense of a lot of wild pitches or, a lot of pitches way out of the zone. He was just hanging around that zone, just didn't get some calls.
Back-to-back quality starts for Fister. And how the Astros need that right now. Jed Lowrie stands in. They've got switch hitters in the top 2 spots in the order. Lowrie off to a good start, hitting .314. The shift is on, and that has Correa right in place. Out number 2. Three-hitter Josh Reddick will stand in. Dangerous left-hand hitting right fielder for the A's. When you play day games here in Oakland, the home run ball becomes much more viable than at night. And for Doug Fister, he has already yielded 5 long balls on the season in 22 innings. Ball and a strike. Reddick go for his last 5. That off-speed breaking ball in the dirt. 2-1 the count. Interesting start for Doug Fister. He's 66 and 66 lifetime over 8 years. So trying to get over that 500 mark on his career. Ground ball on the left side. Only 1 man there. Marwin makes the play. 3 ground ball outs in the first inning. Through 1. The Astros on top. 1-0.
Astros on top of the A's. We go to the top of the second. The Coca-Cola Value Nights package is a great ballpark bargain that scores you a ticket, hot dog, soda, popcorn, all for just $18. To purchase tickets for select Monday to Thursday games, visit astros.com/CokeValue or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Guys, I know we've talked a lot about the tough month of the Astros just put behind them, but they couldn't wait to get to May. And AJ said it last night and then again today, talking about, we're gonna look ahead when it's to our advantage. If you have success, maybe you don't want to let it go. But here, we're ready to turn the page. We're ready to have a new mindset, just feel good, just look at a different date. Just the smallest things to get this team going and rallying around each other. And it takes just something as simple as what Jose Altuve did in the first inning to maybe get this team going.
Thanks, Julia. Yeah, sometimes we were talking about it a bit yesterday about just getting that one big swing at one point that sets off maybe a small, maybe a little bit more than a small winning streak. There's a lot of that movement again for Tyler White as front side is flying open. But Jose Altuve 4 times this year has led off games with home runs. So it's not like a first time thing now for Jose.
And I'm going to jump in here and say that for me, Jose Altuve in this lineup for the time being between the month of April, for me, has been the one guy who I feel when he steps into the box wants to change it. He wants to be the guy that ignites it. I know there's other good hitters in this Astros lineup, but for me, the mentality part of the game for Jose Altuve is maybe just a little bit of a step above, a little more toughness when he steps into the box, realizing he can try and make some things happen.
Ground ball on the right side hit by White, and a nice play by Jed Lowry at second base. Well, here's my take. I completely agree. And for me, Jose Altuve is a guy that I doubt that he has any self-doubts. He's already won the batting title. He knows how good he is. 2 consecutive years over 200 hits. And as Preston Tucker stands in, to me, Altuve doesn't doubt. The other guys are still trying to make that move. I think in terms of Carlos Correa, he has that belief, but you still have to kind of back it up with experience at some point, and I think that's coming for him.
Now, Altuve's done a great job of taking on that leadership role, and I feel that he understands that, and that's why you see him step up in some big situations.
Another ground ball to second base. This routine for Lowry. Second out of the inning. And Marwin Gonzalez will stand in, getting the start at third base today. Left-hander on the hill. Marwin's hitting .222. Does have the 1 home run.
But at some point, this team is too talented, and they've got to just say enough and start playing the game.
Marwin takes inside. How do you go about as a team saying enough? I mean,
take it upon yourself.
Talk is very cheap, obviously.
It's okay to be an individual up there. Everybody wants to get their numbers, but go up there with the mentality that you're going to change that culture with your at bat, with the way you play the game. Keep playing hard, play fundamentally sound, cheer each other on.
Big breaking ball sweeps through there. It's 1-2. And there are different aspects of a team, the pitching, the hitting. Then there's the defensive side and the base running. And there have been flaws all around for the club. They are still last in the league in team ERA. Right on the hands, back up the middle. Simeon with the play. 3 ground ball outs in the second inning. 1-0 Houston. Houston Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Lexus. The new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. It's next level luxury. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. We move to the bottom of the second inning. The Astros ahead 1-0 on a Jose Altuve leadoff home run. Cleanup man Chris Davis leading off here in the second for the A's, followed by Stephen Vogt and Coco Crisp. That shift is on for the Astros defense. Doug Fister tries to paint away on the outside edge.
Good effort. 87. Velocity picking up for Fister.
87, just about, maybe 88 a time or two this year, but that's high end. But again, the 2 consecutive quality starts for Doug. Now that would be one aspect for the starting staff to be able to start putting up the quality starts. And the Astros offense to find a way to start hitting with men in scoring position. Those 2 areas would make an enormous difference for this club. The guys know it. 2-2 the count. And Davis takes away.
And again, 3 balls in this count, but not far off that outside corner. Got the call on one of them, but continuing to attack that outside part of the plate, trying to get the call.
These are the good misses type of misses where you're trying to just pick at the corner.
Looking at our Ford spray chart on Doug Fister. This is when he matched up with Todd Tichenor in his career, and you could see not really giving that outside edge to right-handed hitters. A right-handed hitter on this side, you can see that outside corner not being used all that, being called all that much, forcing Fister back onto the plate.
Davis fouls off another. Stephen Vogt to follow, and then Coco Crisp here in the second inning. With that shift on, the right side is open, and that ground ball finds the big gap. Leadoff single for Davis. He's aboard for Stephen Vogt.
Even with that shift on, Fister was pounding that outside corner, hoping that Chris Davis would roll one over. Here he just throws the barrel at it and punches it back up the middle. Really not trying to do much with that, just avoid the strikeout, found some open territory on that right side.
Stephen Vogt comes in hitting .253, 3 homers on his season. And Fister gets the high strike.
Three ground ball outs in that first inning. Ground ball base hit right there from Chris Davis. Maybe a ground ball double play. Good time for it.
Curveball popped up. Shallow in center field. It's Correa, and now Altuve calls Correa off. Altuve makes the catch. Well, there's that presence of Altuve that says, I'll get it done.
Called off the big fella. In case you're wondering who has control of that infield, still Jose Altuve. Little man likes to take control. I like it. Not an easy day for those pop-ups either. A better angle for Altuve.
Like yesterday, not a cloud in the sky. So it'll be a battle with the sun. But unlike yesterday, we don't have all the wind that was blowing around this ballpark. Strike on the outside corner. Coco Crisp at the plate. He's hitting just .219, but when Crisp comes to the plate against the Astros, it feels like you've got a batting champion there all the time, a guy that also will drive the baseball. Ground ball hit through the vacated left side. A couple of ground balls find the big gaps in this inning. 2 hits, runners at first and second for Chris Coghlan.
Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one this afternoon to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. I think the Oakland A's are just trying to peck away here at Doug Fister. Making some good pitches off the edges, but Coco Crisp, a veteran hitter, realizes he gets a pitch off the plate outside. Nobody over there to field it. Just go with it.
It's one of the things I've wondered, if you're going to shift, should you pitch to the shift, or do you just pitch the way you normally would? And I think that's one of those questions that's still undetermined. Coghlan at the plate has had a slow start, hitting .155, has slammed 4 home runs. Infield much closer to straight up against Coghlan. Ball and a strike. Just the second inning, and Jose Altuve has provided the offense. And now 1-2 the count.
88 on that sinker. Good pitch. It's a good sign.
Maybe getting stronger with the passage of time. 32 years of age for Doug Fister. Chris Coghlan just 1 for 7 in the series. That hit came in game 1. A single. And down on strikes. First strikeout of the afternoon for Doug Fister. Second out of the inning. And now the 8-hitter Yonder Alonso comes to the plate, the big hero in the 9th inning in game 1.
Position, first baseman, number 17, Yonder Alonso.
But the location on that sinker. Coghlan unable to get on top of it.
Not your ideal sinker location, but ideal when you get the strikeout.
Outs is outs.
Yonder Alonso came to the plate in game 1 of the series. In the 9th inning, the Astros were in a tie ball game, couple of runners aboard, and Alonso launched the home run, his first on the year. And the Oakland A's had the big walk-off celebration.
Jumped on a Pat Neshek fastball down and in. Crushed it.
It was a no-doubt shot. Almost identical pitches back-to-back there. It's 3-0. The 9-hitter Marcus Semien waits on deck. Very close pitches. First walk of the afternoon issued by Fister. That'll load him up with 2 outs for Semien.
Batting in the 9th position, the shortstop.
Yeah, caught plenty of the zone for me too.
Marcus Semien.
Pitchers are human. They're going to miss their location, but if it's in the strike zone, you have to call it, don't you?
For me, it's an excuse that has run. I heard it so many times as a catcher. I had my own excuses, I guess, but umpires would say, well, you know, you're set up on the other side of the plate. So what? There's a window there. If the pitch comes through the window, it's a strike, right?
Exactly. The strike zone isn't moving with the catcher. It stays in the same spot. Especially width-wise. I mean, good grief.
You should, I don't know. As an umpire, if they do try to make that window and say, okay, that pitch was in that window, therefore a strike. But to me, it would be an effective way to go about business. perfectly located.
You ain't lying.
But it does bother me that pitchers are trying to make quality pitches and putting those pitches in that window that really is a strike zone, and they're getting missed.
Didn't make me so mad when I was hitting, though.
Look, you and I were on the other side of it for a long time, but you accepted it if it was consistently called, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I would argue if it was called on me, I was like, man, he missed his spot by 1.5 feet. How do you call that? Knowing darn well it was a strike. But the game of, or I guess the psychological warfare that goes on the field.
And it is.
Try and manipulate the situation. Plant a seed of doubt in the umpire's mind. Maybe you get that call next time.
Or maybe you just aggravate him and he's just all out to get you.
Yeah, or you just make him mad enough to expand the zone.
Right on the hands, a looper back of second base. Correa on to Altuve, and they get the out. A 6-4 force at second base. And that was mighty close.
That was real close. I wouldn't be surprised if Melvin's in there. There you get a look at him getting on the phone to see that replay. Mark Conce, his bench coach, looking to relay the word, but I thought that was extremely close. Ball not hit very hard, and the trail runner in those situations usually gets a pretty big lead. As Semien fights that one off, all Correa could do is try and get his hand on that, but it looks like the right call.
Good call at second base. So it remains 1-0 Houston. Could be followed by Altuve and Springer. Jose Altuve with that leadoff home run, the difference in the ball game. For Castro, batting average at 140, showing some better signs here in recent at bats. Curveball misses high. Nice quiet take by the left-hand hitter on the breaking ball.
Got himself in a hitter's count. Be ready for that heater.
2 balls and a strike. Castro without a home run, just 2 RBIs on the season. Facing left-hander Rich Hill. Get something going, get somebody on base for Altuve. And on the hands, and that looper finds a hole on the left side. So Jason Castro continues to try to bring that batting average up. That bat dies a big hero.
Now batting, number 27, Jose.
Go back and look at that play by Correa. Kind of a funky rotation on that ball when it jammed Semien. Take a look at it in super mode, trying to stay with it. You can see it bounced away from him because of the inside out swing, but a great flip to Altuve to get that out. Good quick exchange.
Yeah, that was an unusual play. So Castro aboard as he leads off the third inning. Jose Altuve at the plate, 1 for 1, snapped an 0 for 9 with that home run. Craig Biggio, the last to hit 4 leadoff home runs in a season. Last for the Houston Astros. Two 2-0 the count, make it 3-0. And of course, George Springer waits on deck. And kind of waiting around to see the Astros hitters lay a barrage on somebody. Altuve takes the strike. The Astros come in hitting .235 as a club. That's 10th in the league. They're 9th in runs scored. And another strike called. As we're talking about those leadoff home runs, Craig Biggio is the all-time National League leader. Ricky Henderson, of course, holds the all-time mark. But leadoff home runs, Craig Biggio hit 53 of them. So there's still some work to be done for Jose Altuve.
He's got some career left in him.
He does have. And now already 8 leadoff home runs. I'd say he's becoming that guy that you don't dispute about being the leadoff man. Boy, that was close. I think Rich Hill thought he had thrown that curveball in for what should have been a called strike.
I feel that sometimes everybody at home plate can get fooled a little bit. Obviously, the catcher kind of coming out of his crouch didn't anticipate that ball coming down as well as it did. As you look at Stephen Vogt, but crosses well high enough above Altuve to be called a ball. But sometimes a pitch in a situation can catch everybody off guard. Even the umpire may not call that strike, I feel sometimes.
Really kills it when the catcher stands up, though. Starts to move upward.
We've got foreign substance on the field.
Like everybody trying to agree that this baseball's okay to put into play.
Uh-oh.
So the Astros have Castro and Altuve aboard. Nobody out for George Springer. We had heard about Rich Hill and that tendency with a 3-2 count to throw the curveball. So maybe the Astros hitters will keep that filed. George Springer trying to come up with a big swing of his own. He has 11 RBIs, 4 home runs, one of those a grand slam. And that came in that opening series in New York. Starts the bat on the curveball. Ooh. And they get the swing. 0-2 the count.
Take a look at it for yourself, and yep, went around. I think part of me didn't want him to go around.
Hope that was a big part of you. Another broken bat, ground ball to third. 5, 4, and 3. They do not get the double play. Springer able to leg that thing out on a close play at first. Bats are just splintering here.
It's a dry day. Dry wood. Getting all up in the kitchen of George Springer, and like you said, bat goes flying. Actually a pretty good play by Coghlan to corral that thing, get a good feed over to Lowry, but Springer's speed allows him to be safe. They are going to challenge this as we take another look at it. Ball's got to be in the back of that glove, and my goodness. Ty goes to the runner.
Really close, huh?
Is there enough to overturn it for you?
Yeah, that's the area that we've seen a number of times already this year where they review the play, but it's not enough to say one way or the other that it's going to change the call. How about George Springer hustling down the line to hopefully ensure that there's only one out in the inning?
Oh, this is a great look in the Supermo. Wow. I mean, seriously? That is right on time.
Is that heel on the bag?
You see the impact of the bag, but I mean, can you judge that? Because you have to anticipate when that shoe first hits.
Yep. I can't turn that around.
Me neither.
And I would say that either direction. It's not a.
Oh, come on. We can be honest.
Okay, go ahead and push it out there. Which way you gonna bend on this one?
He's safe. It's obvious.
Wipe off some of that orange blood coming out of your arm there.
I know.
So they continue the review. The umpires.
Oh, this is going to take a while in New York.
Well, I mean,
somebody's got
watch it twice.
Well,
and come up with the same conclusion we did, that that's too tough to turn.
It's almost 5 o'clock out there, so there might be a decent set of eyes on that.
Maybe they've got a shift change and they've got to run through a couple of sets of umpires.
They better have a backup set, right? What if somebody has to go to the restroom?
What do you think at home?
Tweet it at MLB.
I don't think you can turn that around. And when, by the way, is that shift change in New York with the umpires?
I'm not sure. They do East Coast, West Coast, or is it an actual time block? We need to get to the bottom of some of these things. I have a lot of questions.
Bob Melvin has a lot of questions.
There should be an app for this by now, shouldn't there?
It's got to be, right? Yeah, they couldn't turn it around.
Call.
I'll just about guarantee that's what we'll hear in the end.
It'll give us a chance to look at our Lexus defensive rankings now that we've got guys in scoring position and a potential for a play at home plate. I want you to focus on that guy in left field. The worst arm in baseball, according to defensive rankings out there. Definitely don't want to test Josh Reddick. If he has a chance to get behind it and throw home, he will put a good throw on it. Hit it to left.
2 minutes and 25 seconds on that review.
This is what we were talking about as far as maximum efficiency average, and that's Chris Davis. There's nobody underneath him for a reason.
That's a list you don't really want to get on, isn't it?
Nope.
Fastball is taken for a strike. A couple of men on board, first and third. Correa with a 1-0 count, looked like he was taking all the way. Time to drive in some runs right here. And Correa takes another. Gets a couple of fastballs, takes them. He's behind in the count, 1-2.
I am not privy to information these hitters have in the Astros clubhouse, but I'm seeing too many fastballs being taken for me. I understand Rich Hill has a great breaking ball, but for me, if you have runners in scoring position and you get fastballs to hit, you be ready to hit the fastball. I just snapped. I'm sorry.
Are you looking to find an argument?
No.
Because you're not going to get one
here. I had
here.
to vent a little bit.
Yeah. Believe me, you've got no argument here in the booth.
Saw Evan Gattis take a couple heaters.
Yeah. To me, this taking thing starts to really cut into that drive in the runs mentality. Anyway, that's just me.
And then the term selectively aggressive for me. You know, and I understand that Carlos Correa is going to be good at getting to 3-2 counts, working the walks and things like that. But early in the count, why not be aggressive and guess? Say, I'm going to look for a fastball, middle in. If I get it, I'm going to put a good pass on it.
I'm one that's not in favor of passing the baton in this part of the order when you have opportunities to drive in runs. But 3-2 pitch inside, so the baton gets passed as Carlos Correa draws the walk, his second of the afternoon, and it brings up the left-hand hitting Colby Rasmus.
And walks are great. I completely agree with getting on base and creating issues and forcing the defense to make plays, forcing that pitcher to pitch in some high-stress innings. But at the same time, I would like to see a team that is struggling be aggressive on that fastball and create some lightning with that barrel of the bat.
This is your RBI leader on the club. Colby Rasmus stands in. But now lefty v lefty as he takes the curveball away. Leadoff broken bat single by Jason Castro. The walk to Altuve. The bang bang force play that sees Springer safe at first base, and the walk to Correa has him loaded up. And that curveball misses. 2-0 the count.
Ooh, this is a good one. That's a heater getting tallywhacked for 4 RBIs. Colby Rasmus with the bat flip because he knew it. Big home run. He's come up with big hits in that Astros uniform. Why not now?
Gets the fastball, hits it in the air to right field. Not deep enough to get out of here, but the catch is made, tagging from third Castro, and also moving into third base is George Springer. It's a sac fly, and the leader in RBIs picks up another for the Astros and makes it 2-0.
That is a quality at bat. Less than 2 outs, runner at third base. That's your focus as a hitter, and Colby got himself in a good hitter's count. Just missed a fastball, but launched it far enough to drive in that run. Dave Hudgens is over there going, man, good swing. You just missed it. But again, ready to hit the heater. Man, he might have actually gotten a little bit quick on that, huh? He's got great hands.
2 outs. Runners at first and third once again. And now Evan Gattis with a chance to maybe beef up that runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Two 2-0 the count. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of picking up runs when they are presented. And with less than 2 outs, it's a must-have. Two balls and no strikes.
Now some time for 2-out lightning from Evan Gattis. I like
Popped
it.
Up on the right side. And that will be, that was playable, but and not played by Alonso.
And that goes to what we've been talking about in this series here at Oakland. And for years that we've been able to come here and talk about this, it affects everybody because it is so foreign to have that much foul territory. Even a guy who's been here and made this run.
You know, there's no fence at the dugout there. And I think that last step is the one that was very fearful for Alonso, obviously.
Well, without the fence there, you have nothing to lean up against and create a space where you could reach out and grab it. You got to worry about going into the dugout.
So in effect, you get handed an extra out right here, a chance to maybe take advantage.
But I love the aggressiveness on the fastball. Got himself in a 3-1 count here. Rich Hill does not want to load them up. He's going to go to that heater away.
Little pop down the right field side. Foul territory, and that'll drop.
Poor Yonder Alonso. He's done a couple of 75-yard sprints and got nothing to show for it.
Josh Reddick, the longtime right fielder here in Oakland, and imagine how many wind sprints he's put in through the years.
Over the years, yeah.
It's 3-2. That means Correa's on the move.
Seen a lot of 3-2 breaking balls from Rich Hill.
There goes Correa. Gattis able to hold it back and draw the walk. And the third free pass of the inning. Once again, bases juiced. This time it's Tyler White at the plate.
Now batting, number 13, Tyler White.
This is a guy right here, and Tyler White, first week of the season, was very aggressive with fastballs in the zone.
That he was. He's 0 for 1 on the day, hitting .247, but a big opportunity.
The curveball for Rich Hill's kind of turned into a little bit of a sweeper, hadn't it?
It really is. It's
early on a little more 12-6.
Certainly not 12-6 at the moment.
Sometimes that sweep of the breaking ball makes it look like a ball. Tough for the catcher to, really squeeze it and keep it in the zone.
Fastball popped up, but a good aggressive swing. It's on the infield. Coghlan will battle the sun and make the catch. Not easily done, but done by the A's. The Astros add one and lead it 2-0.
Little League Day at Oakland Coliseum. A lot of Astros fans, too. Nicely done. 2-0 Astros over the A's. And it's time for our Chevy Stro poll. Head over to the Root Sports SW Twitter page to vote in this poll. Your choices of Astros memories you'd like to relive. Ash's best outfielder. These are, I believe, outfielders you played with?
I guess so, yeah. I think that's former Astro outfielders, I guess.
All right, we've got Ensberg's 3-homer game and the infamous B game. Let's relive one. Vote, please.
Get on it.
To the bottom of the third we go. 2-0 Astros. Top of the order now as Billy Burns stands in. Doug Fister had a 1-2-3 first inning, getting 3 ground ball outs. Got a little dicier in the second inning. A couple of hits and a walk as he finally got out of the frame.
Somebody wants those Ensberg home runs.
Those were fun days.
I remember I got traded over to Houston in 2002, and Morgan was the incumbent third baseman. Morgan obviously provided a lot of that power, but we had a year, I think we had 35 total home runs and 100 some odd RBIs because Morgan was just out there absolutely annihilating the baseball. He had mega pop to all fields too, by the way.
Richard Hidalgo on that club. Of course, there was he played with Moises, right, as the drive goes to right field.
Played against Moises quite a bit. I wasn't with him in Montreal, and I missed him in Houston, but played against him quite a bit.
I'll tell you what, when they had Moises along with Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio, and then Derek Bell was a part of that, and Richard Hidalgo and Morgan Ensberg, and wow. With one out, Jed Lowry stands in.
Lance Berkman in that lineup.
Yes, and Lance showed up.
Gosh.
Drive hit to right center field and deep. A long run for Rasmus. He will not get there. It's high off the wall in right center field. Jed Lowry into second, a one-out double. And that ball was very close to getting out of here.
Really was. Jed Lowry's got one of the more pure uppercuts we see in baseball. But it matched up, that attack angle matched up well with this curveball, getting underneath it and driving it. Day game out here in Oakland. Ball carries pretty good. Man, that's just inches from getting out of here. Leave him out there.
Double number 5 for Lowry. And with one out, Josh Reddick at the plate takes a strike. Yeah, on that drive hit by Lowry, the day game thing always comes into mind for me. At night here, you just have to destroy the baseball. Dodger Stadium that same way, and we've talked about it, but probably the toughest ballpark of all, the original layout of Petco in San Diego, maybe.
Oh, man, that right center field gap in Petco Park has ruined many a dream.
They brought it in, but still really tough.
Yeah, it's still a pretty good bomb to get it out of there. Actually brought that right field. From the right field, they have a Petco porch out there, maybe 15 feet in, but then they brought it in another 15 feet, but it's still a pretty darn good poke to get it out of there. Day games are better in San Diego, but those night games, you know as well as I do, San Diego, LA, Oakland, San Francisco, it gets heavy.
Just doesn't carry. Okay, let me ask you this. Toughest, that area you're talking about originally at Petco, or left center and center field in Detroit's new ballpark, Comerica, originally before they brought that in?
I was going to say, I'd say original Detroit was much harder for that gap seemed to be endless.
I mean, they've got those bullpens now in an area that used to be field.
Yeah,
and that's a
but
lot
Juan
of distance.
Gonzalez originally signed to go there, and they built that stadium. You wonder what Juan Gonzalez to make the architect so mad at him to put that fence so far away in left field.
That was a pitcher's dream. The old Astrodome.
Yeah.
Ground ball hit to the right side. Correa will make the play. Gets the out, second out of the inning, and gets a big man in Reddick as Chris Davis comes to the plate with a man at third.
Oh, this is a good one. But do they have a flagpole in play? Richie Sexton pummeled this ball off of Wade Miller.
There's only one place for that.
Biz giving it his best shot. It ricocheted. It squared up that foul pole in fair territory and ricocheted back to the field.
Wait a minute, that hit
Look at Richie's like, no, I hit that 450 feet. What do you mean it's in play?
That hit the flagpole. Yeah, that flagpole's in play.
The only reason I'm laughing is because it's not me. Oh, man. You got to be kidding me.
You think all these years later you could have mustered a little bit of a chuckle if that had been you?
Looking back, maybe now. What if that was 100 for me?
Number 100.
Then I would have been really upset. just Dikembe Mutombo'd right there. Take that.
Davis swings through it. 0-2 the count.
I might have just run off the field. Quit. I'm leaving. I can take the hint. The baseball gods have spoken.
You stand at $4.99. You need one more to lock up the Hall of Fame, and in steps Towles Hill's flagpole. And Davis down on strikes just waves through it, and that'll do it. Pfister battles through the third inning. Strands a man on third. It's 2-0. Astros on top.
Coliseum. Astros have 2 runs. The Athletics have 0. Show your support for your Cy Young Award winner by joining us this Monday night in Keuchel's Corner, presented by Houston Methodist. With this package, you get a ticket, a beard, and a Keuchel's Corner t-shirt. For more info, visit Astros.com/Keuchel's Corner or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
To the 4th inning we go. Preston Tucker leads it off. Preston batting in the 7 spot, followed by Marwin Gonzalez and Jason Castro here in the 4th. The Astros picked up a run in the 1st inning on the solo home run by Jose Altuve, who else his 4th leadoff bomb this year and his 8th of his career. And then one more run on the sac fly by Colby Rasmus coming in the 3rd. Ball and a strike on Preston. Curveball to half swing, but it's a strike. Left-hander Rich Hill, 36 years of age. The Oakland A's won game 1 of the series 7-4. They won yesterday's game 2-0, and the Astros trying to salvage one right here. Curveball chopped up the middle. A's have him played right. Simeon's there to make the play. Nice dig out at first base by Alonso. Out number 1 in the 4th.
Now batting, number 9, Marwin Gonzalez.
Marwin Gonzalez 0 for 1, grounded to short in the 2nd inning. Got some finals in around the major leagues. In St. Louis, Washington wins it 6-1. Curveball stays away. Yeah, you're right, Blummer. That sweeper, does it get to the outside corner when you try to backdoor it? Does it catch some of the plate when you miss on the inside? It's a
tough one to gauge. Because that big sweeper around the outside, like you said, kind of breaks around the plate. Umpires have a tough time giving that one a strike call.
Now that catches some plate. It's a ball and a strike. There was news in St. Louis today as Bryce Harper took an 0 for 4.
Enjoy those while you can.
No kidding.
Didn't happen too often.
Max Scherzer picked up the win in that one, 3-1. Two and 2 the count on Marwin. And they love their baseball in St. Louis. Almost 43,000 on hand. The Chicago White Sox stay on their winning ways. They are now 18-8 as they pick up a win today in Baltimore, 7-1 over the Orioles. Marwin draws the walk. Here's a look now at our Quicken Loans Rocket Arms. Rocket Arms, notable pitchers this season.
You look at them.
You look at them. It's you're the analyst here.
Chris Sale dealing again. My gosh, 38 strikeouts. Jake Arrieta, he's okay. Give this kid some time. He'll develop into a pretty good pitcher. Yet to lose a game with that 1 ERA.
What have you seen from him? What's setting him apart right now?
I haven't had a chance to watch him, to be honest, often enough to really make a call on that.
He's also hit a home run this year, and
do it all. Why not? Coming into his prime. found his happy place there in Chicago.
Madison Bumgarner, he's got like 8 or 9 career home runs.
Yeah. But does he have the average to back it up? Bumgarner might.
He might.
I don't know, these modern day Mike Hamptons going around.
He's the lefty
Tim
that swings
Hudson.
from the right side. Yeah. How many home runs did Mike Hampton retire with? Well, he went to Colorado and hit how many that one year?
Like 7 or 8 in 1 year. If I could get this dial up to work, I'd tell you the answer.
It has been rather special here. I see
They're having trouble getting a signal with Mount Davis in the way.
you're trying to re-engage, aren't you? Castro hits it to left field.
Be a thing.
And deep in the corner, and a tough running grab by Davis. Castro robbed on this one. Well, you try to get something going, and a guy that makes a play like that on you. So Castro's 1 for 2. That's the second out of the inning. As we go back to the top with Altuve, but a heck of a play.
That was a really good play. Castro did a good job of staying on that breaking ball, driving it that way. Kind of hoping it would tail away from Chris Davis, but he chased it down.
Seen a little sign recently from Jason Castro, staying on pitches, hitting them to left field. We will stay tuned to see how that all works out. Jose Altuve at the plate has homered. That was his 7th on the season. He's also drawn a walk. That slide step employed by Rich Hill makes the running game almost impossible. And the A's catchers have done a nice job throwing as well. You and I, Blummer, were talking about Manny Machado before the game. Another 2 for 4 day for Machado, who's hitting a cool .350 right now for the O's.
Yeah, he's really good.
Way inside on Altuve. 1-2 the count. Chris Sale is a perfect 6-0 for the White Sox. Been earning it. ERA at 1.66. Pitch a ball, the throw down with the runner on the move, and that throw in the dirt. It's a stolen base. Marwin Gonzalez picking up the bag. Maybe surprising a lot of folks right here. His 2nd of the year in 2 tries.
Yeah, he might have put Stephen Vogt on his heels a little bit. Not a very big lead, but going first move. Pretty good jump by Marwin. Got himself in scoring position for Jose Altuve.
Strike 3 called on that curveball. So Altuve caught looking. That does it for the Stros in the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Houston.
by authority of Houston Astros, LLC, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Houston Astros, LLC.
Back with the Astros on top 2-0. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. 5-6-7 coming up for the Oakland A's. Stephen Vogt leads it off. Vogt takes a strike. A's catcher popped to second base as he led off, or rather batted second in the second inning. Has the shift on. Little thumber back in the bag at second. Correa on the run and makes the perfect throw to get it.
I was pretty impressed with Correa's ability to stay in front of that hot smash.
He's actually had a couple of tough ones today.
Squibbers out there.
Jobs, yeah.
Good job. But I love that he's coming out of that catch. Watch the way he gets upright nice and quickly on the exchange, and that allows him to get that good strong throw to get the out.
One out, Coco Crisp at the plate. Crisp, the DH today. Curveball from Pfister. Pretty close to right over the top. A ball and a strike. San Francisco Giants 6-1 winners at the Mets today. Madison Bumgarner wins his third of the year. Strike called inside edge. There's a lot of peeping going on right now. Taking the loss for the Mets, Noah Syndergaard. Hot shot on the backhand side for Correa. He makes the nice play. Second out of the inning on ground balls to shortstop.
The 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot is here. Head to astros.com/vote to choose your All-Stars and send them to the Midsummer Classic in San Diego. Vote all day, every day at astros.com/vote.
Altuve certainly has positioned himself to make that club again. $24,135 on hand today. Taking in the sun and Astros A's baseball. Houston Astros on top 2-0. 2 outs. Coghlan at the plate. Mentioned Madison Bumgarner winning for the Giants. Noah Syndergaard takes the loss for the Mets. Mets starting staff really tough. And they had almost 40,000 people in New York. Down on strikes, Coghlan, second time on the afternoon, third strikeout for Doug Fister. A 1-2-3 frame. Houston Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Jumbolicious Jumbo meal before it's gone. Only at Jack in the Box. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, donating $100 for each Astros home run and $200 for each Correa home run to Houston Children's Charity. The Astros have picked up a run in the first, a run in the third inning, lead it 2-0. We're in the fifth. George Springer leads it off, followed by Carlos Correa and Colby Rasmus. Veteran left-hander Rich Hill on the mound. And Springer takes the strike. George has reached base in 15 straight games and 52 of his last 56 games. Very impressive figure there. It dates back to June 27th of last season. On the fist and popped up on the right side. Into foul territory goes Alonso, out number one. Carlos Correa will stand in. He's drawn a couple of walks today.
Carlos Correa.
Correa with a big swing fouls it back as he goes to hack in here with nobody on base. Toronto Blue Jays winners at Tampa Bay today, 5-1 the final. Takes the curveball. It's 0-2. Watch this sweep right through. No, maybe it's swept on by. Curveball taken. Caught looking is Correa. Down on strikes. So he's 0 for 1. Third strikeout for Hill. And with 2 outs, Colby Rasmus will stand in.
Now batting, number 28, Colby Rasmus.
Colby 0 for 1. He's flied out. That back in the first inning. Then picked up a sac fly on a fly ball to right field in the third inning, driving in run number 2 for the Stros. Sweeper from the side. 0-2 the count.
Laredo slider there, huh? Trying to create strikes.
Marcus Stroman improves to 4-0 with a win for the Toronto Blue Jays today. And in case you were wondering, Josh Donaldson has slammed his 9th. Ball and 2 strikes on Colby. Troy Tulowitzki chips in with his 5th. There's a team that can slam it. Hill brings the 1-2. Curveball ripped sharply at second base. Lowry with the play. And that'll do it. A 1-2-3 5th inning. The Astros remain on top.
fifth. It's 2-0 Astros, and Doug Fister gets back to work, who's allowed just one run today. And I mentioned that only because of the outing he's coming off of, that rough start in Seattle for him, which really didn't turn out to be that bad, but it was the 7 walks that he really struggled with, and it's something that really gets under his skin. He's a pitcher that's not known to walk anybody, and he talked about how he felt like he made a lot of quality pitches, but that were somewhere near the zone, but unfortunately just too many men getting on base for him. And that was really the story for a lot of these starting pitchers, guys, that just dancing around the strike zone, not going after hitters, and he was hoping to do a better job of that today.
The 0-1 pitch is slammed into right field on a line off the bat of Alonso, but George Springer's right there. First out here in the 5th inning. That'll bring up 9-hitter Marcus Semien. Yeah, to what Julia was just talking about, again, it was the second of back-to-back quality starts for Doug Fister that last start. Now he's trying to pick up another here. Leads it 2-0. 1 out in the 5th inning. Marcus Semien, the 9-hitter, takes a strike. Correa with another play. And another out. 2 down.
Jack in the Box takes us inside the box score. Take a look at Lance McCullers last time he saw those Oakland A's out there in Minute Maid Park. That was his first career start. 4 2/3 innings pitched, I believe. My monitor's a little blurry. Chris Davinsky also made his first career start against the Oakland A's. Did quite well, too. Those 3 walks were a bit of an issue there, and all 3 of those walks were in that 2nd inning. That's really the only struggles he had. I thought he pitched quite well otherwise.
The Oakland A's wound up with just 5 hits yesterday, a couple of doubles in the game. The Astros had 4. It was one of those well-pitched games, and I agree. I thought Davinsky showed that he's viable in this rotation.
He's got the stuff.
Another aspect to him, he's angry because he wasn't as good as he thought he should be. You like that?
Yeah, that's a good idea into the mind of Davinsky.
Billy Burns with a ball and a strike. It's that little slap it kind of swing. The Astros have just 2 hits on the afternoon, and the Oakland A's with 3 against Fister. But if you're just checking in, Jose Altuve had 1 of those hits. Came leading off the ball game. A launch job to left center field made it 1-0 quickly. Counts at 2-2. It was Billy Burns driving in those only 2 runs yesterday for the Oakland A's in their victory. But he takes strike 3 as Doug Fister gets through another 1-2-3 frame. 4 strikeouts for the tall right-hander. Who is this guy?
2-0 Astros over the A's. Raise your glass and cheer on the Astros on Friday, May 6th at Pinot in the Park, presented by Houston Methodist. This event features a pregame wine tasting, food pairings, and a stemless wine glass for the first 500 fans with an event ticket. Visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS for tickets. Hey, that's me. I was at this event last year, guys. It was a really good time.
You were the event, weren't you?
No, I was not the event, but it was a really cool event, so make sure to get tickets for that. No. I was on the panel.
Evan Gattis is the event right now, Julia, and he has a 1-1 count. He's the big man to get hot. He has struck out and walked. I wonder how our resident food critic at the ballparks rates the Oakland Coliseum compared to some of the others with the food. Haven't really heard anything. Gattis pops it up shallow in right field. It's going to be Reddick shielding his eyes from that sun and making the play.
Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston, benefiting Houston's children charities. Evan Gattis, home runs in May 2015. He hit 9 in the month of May. Big home run totals to get him going. That went along with those triples, so the extra base hits were aplenty for Evan Gattis.
Tyler White, body moving all over the place, takes a fastball for a strike.
That's a good take.
Is it? Okay. I don't know what's leading to all that movement. It's 0-1. 97, 98 pitches now as the curveball misses away.
Oh, some great White fans out there.
Yeah, we'd all love to see him get red hot with that bat again. 1-2 as the curveball bends through. Yeah, he really had it going on that first couple of weeks of the season. Allows that curveball to slip through once again, down on strikes. 4 strikeouts for Rich Hill. 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Now batting, number 20, Preston Tucker.
And Preston Tucker will stand in. The Astros with 3 left-handed bats against the lefty today, just trying to make something happen. Tucker has grounded out twice on his afternoon. Called a strike, and I think Preston Tucker, like some of the rest of us, would like to know, is that on the swing or the pitch? Fastball nowhere close. Nobody loosening in the A's pen. The curveball is a big part of what Rich Hill does.
That's a good one.
He's over 100 pitches now. 103. Drops down, fastball just away.
Saw him drop down on the slider earlier. Now he's dropping down on the heater. Wasn't in my scouting report.
And he's a tall guy. Stands at 6'5", so creating a big angle with that drop down. That'll fill it. Not a lot of offense here this afternoon, but 2-0 Houston. A home run by Altuve, a sac fly by Rasmus. That's been it. Hot shot, but gloved by Simeon. Gets up from the knees and throws out Tucker. Very nice play at shortstop. Sharply hit ball by Preston Tucker. But a 1-2-3 6th inning. Still 2-0 Houston.
Annual J.J. Watt Charity Classic takes place at Minute Maid Park on Saturday, May 14th. The event benefits the J.J. Watt Foundation and features a home run derby followed by a softball game with Texans players. For tickets, visit Astros.com/JJ Watt.
Wow, way to sell it.
You have to say it like that when you're watching him crush homers in BP. The video was awesome.
He hits a bunch in BP, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Shoot, even I hit home runs in BP.
He's strong. What?
When's the last time?
Last time I took BP.
Okay. That's good enough for me.
We all just let JJ have his moment?
I'm not saying I'd be able to go out there and knock down a pass or sack a quarterback, that's for sure.
Julia, this is Jeff Blum we're talking with right here.
He's only got me by about 4 inches and about 75 pounds, too.
You know what? I'll bet you're only about an inch at most shy of what he stands up there. Liam Hendriks, right-hander, loosens in the pen now for Oakland. As Doug Fister works into the 6th inning with a shutout, it's 2-0 Houston. The last time Doug Fister went 9 was September 26th, a couple of years back, and against the Miami Marlins. Fister with a 2-2 count as he starts things here in the 6th. Lowry has grounded out and doubled. And down on strikes. Coming up the ladder, Fister gets another strikeout. That's 5 on the day.
Dougie's making it happen today. Talked about a couple of quality starts leading into this game, continuing at being effective with the fastball. Even elevated in the zone. We've seen a couple of swings and misses up there. Just kind of sneaky fast up the top of the zone.
With that shift on, Josh Reddick hits one through the left side. 3rd time today we've seen the A's slice one through the vacated side of the infield. A 1-out single brings up the cleanup man, Chris Davis.
Now batting left fielder, number 2, Chris Davis.
Reddick aboard, 1 for 3 on the day. And now the A's get another right-hander up, Fernando Rodriguez. No doubt positioning themselves for what the score may be, 2-0 or some other possibility. Davis starts the bat, takes a strike. There are your two right-handers for the A's. Davis takes another strike. 0-2 the count. Don't know if it's Billy ball going on here with all the taking. But Fister pretty economical. This will be his 80th pitch of the day. Davis 1 for 2 with a strikeout this afternoon. Just reaches out and spoils.
Fister's been just wearing out that outer third of the plate against Chris Davis.
It was a similar pitch back in the second inning that Davis reached out on with a couple of strikes and just hit a ground ball through the vacated right side. Altuve playing on the first base side of the bag now. Ram to center field right there. Rasmus read that line drive perfectly, sprinted to the spot and made the play. Second out.
Watch every out-of-market MLB game live in HD on over 400 of Alan Ashby's supported devices and get a free subscription to At Bat Premium with MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
You don't have to come across as sounding selfish, do you?
3 TVs.
Look at this.
You've got a computer, and that doesn't even count what's actually in the briefcase that you bring to the ballpark. I mean, you are mobility and information at its highest.
Have we taken a look at what Jeff Blum has going on here?
I have a computer and a phone.
And
that's it.
He's got the computer behind each lens.
These are my Google glasses. Google glasses in case you need them.
All day long.
It's kind of bright here today.
So we are loaded up here in the booth and enjoying this 2-0 Astros lead as the fly ball goes to right field. Springer misread it for a moment but makes the play, and that'll do it as Doug Fister gets through the 6th. 2-0 Houston.
It's 2-0 Astros leading the A's. We have a winner in our Chevy Stroh poll. Thank you all for your votes on the Root Sports SW Twitter page. The B game won. Wow, I'm surprised. 45%, the infamous B game. Sorry, Ash and
No,
Morgan.
I'm cool. I can live with it.
Let's do that another
the
day.
B game was crazy. What happened in that B game? Wait a minute. Oh, don't throw the slider there.
Well, that's
buddy.
why everybody wanted to see that.
My
I saw you
goodness.
voting all afternoon here.
Speaking of killer bees, that was a good day. 4 or 5 RBIs in that game.
Were you allowed into that club? Were you one of the killer bees?
I don't know. I didn't ask to be in it. I just wanted to swing my way into it.
Well, you did.
Wandy Rodriguez with the high five. Jason Michaels. A lot of fun playing on that ball club. But those bees really had me in a panic because they halted the game to get rid of the bees. And I was like, man,
Yeah.
I was cheering so hard for that beekeeper to get rid of those bees.
Potential, excuse me, loss of home run, and you can't have that happen.
No.
Marwin leads it off in the 7th. 2-0 Houston. Marwin has grounded out and walked. He's also stolen a base following the walk in the 4th inning. Well, you're a killer bee in my book.
That's all that matters.
Right-hander Liam Hendriks now on to pitch for these Oakland A's. Hails from Perth, Western Australia.
Nice.
And to top that off, he's 27 years of age. Originally signed by the Minnesota Twins. Made his major league debut in 2012. Line shot, but hooked foul by Marwin. 2-2 the count. The Astros still with just 2 hits on the day. Your boy making the play down there.
It's a nice play, Charlie. Johnny on the spot. Got to be ready. A lot of work down here. This foul territory, protect the guys in the bullpen.
Luke foul down the other way. You got somebody to make that play?
Yeah, I thought Lance was going to get up and get that one, but he decided to let the fans have at it. There he is. He was ready. Man, he's going with the sleeves today. It's a warm day.
You like to see Altuve approach, biting the nails a little bit.
Be some residual lunch on there.
Flare down the left field side, foul territory. That means huge area, and it drops foul. Coughlin gave chase. Do we see bees?
Oh, they were huddled up underneath there, and that guy came to save my day right there. He went to work, sprayed something up underneath that. It was the ball girl's jacket, and I'm not sure what was going on underneath there, but the bees were just loving it.
Shortly here, it's Blum home run official.
Yeah, we were trying to lock this one in. Probably a getaway day too, just to extend things a little bit, but there we go, got some action. And I mean, they just piled out of that jacket. That was incredible. Look at that. That's a mountain of bees.
Which app do you go to get that guy out to make that happen?
I don't know, but I was highly encouraging phone calls around the local pest control.
Your local Bees R Us app.
You know what was funny? I want to say the guy's name was Kyle Blanks. Was playing left field for the San Diego Padres. Kyle Blanks is about 6'8", about 250, 260, and came sprinting off the field because the whole swarm of bees were coming across. We couldn't figure out what was going on until we heard the, coming across the field, and there you see the aftermath.
Bees don't respect height or size, do they?
No, they have the ultimate weapon. I didn't realize he put them all in that jacket. My goodness. Hard to believe there's nobody sitting in that section of the stands too,
A few more bees swarming around. They were not to threaten your home run at all.
No.
3-2 the count. Marwin down on strikes. Liam Hendriks comes on. Gets his first man, 1 out here in the 7th inning. 9-hitter Jason Castro comes to the plate.
You couldn't see it in the dugout, but I was
came out of the tunnel there.
clapping like crazy.
Number 15, Jason
Got a kid.
Castro.
Got it done.
Yeah.
MVP right there.
Was he your choice for MVP that day?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Hands down.
It's a team effort, and you got to have
There you
everybody
go. Give a wave to the
contribute.
crowd. Standing O. That a boy. That was that. It's in the books.
Jason Castro has singled. Little broken bat shot through the left side, and then flight out to left field in the 4th inning, right down in the corner. Real good running grab in the corner by Chris Davis. I bet there was one game that got away from you, one that you had a home run in, the rain came and washed it out. Otherwise, I know there would have been 100 on your career.
I don't know. That's too much thinking there.
Was feeling a little pain.
It
3-0
happens.
the count.
It is what it is.
Pitch is high. Castro draws the 1-out walk. He's aboard for Altuve.
Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and is that young man Jose Altuve swinging a strong bat, popping his 7th home run of the season out of there, and to lead off this ball game, 8th leadoff home run in his career. Believe it or not, he has tied his home run total from the year he won the batting title in 2014.
Good number. 341. You remember, and I know you do, as the line drive on a hop is gloved by Lowry onto Simeon, and they get the double play on a 1-hop rocket. And that'll do it for the Astros. First double play of the day. Still 2-0.
Two 2-0 Astros with the lead. It is time to name that Astro, and it is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Let's see what your clues are today. Played in the Little League World Series and the World Series. Shut down base runners, and he operated at a high level in 90s.
Yes, Steve. Yes, Tom.
Huh?
Blummer. Should have tweet your best guess. We'll tell you who it is later.
Google that, Astro.
No Googling.
Bunch of cheaters out there.
Julia, you need to command respect. Keep the people off the Google and get some fair competition.
What's Google?
Exactly. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-0 Houston. Coco Crisp leads it off. And you saw him out there. Doug Fister still on the mound for the Astros. And that bullpen is quiet. Pitch number 85 taken for a strike. He has stayed in the strike zone. Has walked just one on the afternoon.
Sixth pitch on the afternoon and 59 strikes, only 27 balls for Doug Fister.
Julia, I think they're cheating on you. We're starting to get
a
steady flow. This ball at 88 miles an hour runs up and in. Has maintained that velocity all afternoon. It is a stronger version of Doug Fister working. Two and two the count.
Coco almost got out of the way of a strike.
Dangerous Coco Crisp against the Houston Astros. Lines one to right. Springer coming on, lays out and makes the play. George Springer flashing a little D in right field to get that big first out here in the 7th inning.
Great play. It's one way to get rid of Coco Crisp. Make a fantastic play on one of his line drives. This one right here is squared up nicely, but George Springer with a tough play diving in.
Just almost makes it look routine. Big play, Coghlan at the plate. He shoots one through that vacated left side. A 1-out single. And now that bullpen starts to shuffle around for the Astros down the right field side. Twitter is responding for you, Blummer.
Somebody discovered that Lou Diamond Phillips was actually the beekeeper that came in to assist. That is one of the young guns showed up, took care of that. That was the original man bun.
You got to work your way on up, right?
That's awesome. That's a quality tweet right there.
Fly ball into left center field. It's going to drop for a hit. Cut off by Tucker. But digging into third base safely is Coghlan. First and third for the Oakland A's with 1 out here in the 7th inning. That base hit by Yonder Alonso.
Bottom third of the lineup for the Oakland Athletics has made some noise in this series. Doug Fister did a good job of keeping him quiet until this 7th inning. Coco Crisp hit a ball hard. George Springer made a great play, but the next two hitters, 7-8 hitters, Chris Coghlan and Alonso, a couple of base hits.
For the Astros, Tony Sipp now gets loose in the pen. For the Oakland A's, it is right-hander John Axford, and as Sipp starts to get it loose, the Astros and Brent Strom will try to buy a little time right here and make sure Sipp can get himself loose as quickly as possible. Right-handed hitting Marcus Semien at the plate. It's the switch hitter Billy Burns waiting on deck. Home plate umpire Todd Tichenor goes out to the mound. He'll break things up. So 1 out. It is the first real threat for the A's since the 2nd inning. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs as Marcus Semien grounded into a disputed force play at second, but the replay kept the out call in force. Ground ball back up the middle. That's a base hit. And that'll plate the first run of the day for the A's. It's now 2-1, still 1 out. Runners at first and second. RBI single Marcus Semien. And now the top of the order coming to the plate. And Billy Burns stands in. Seven hits for the A's, just 2 for Houston.
Just pecking away that bottom third of the order. 3 hits in a row lead to the first run for the Oakland A's.
The A's now get a right-hander up to go along with the right-hander John Axford. That's Fernando Rodriguez once again. Hit on a hop, glove by Correa. Altuve, and they can't get the double play. Dug out nicely by White. And at second base, was there any infraction?
Well, it looked like Semien went straight into the bag, but he got Altuve good. He doesn't seem too happy about it because Semien, I'm not sure why, but is apologizing on the play. I'm sure we will get a replay on it, but that ball's smoked. Correa does a good job of getting to it, getting that ball early to Jose Altuve, and Jose Altuve, kind of for me, turned that double play while in that baseline, and that's why he's shaking up right here.
Yeah, it's a really nice play by Correa to get the whole thing started.
And see where Altuve right in front of the bag, and you can see why he's hurting right now is because that knee of Semien hit him in that left ankle. As a middle infielder, you try and create a situation where you're out of the baseline and away from the base runner when you turn that double play.
Doug Fister is done with his day's work. A.J. Hinch has come out and taken the baseball as he summons Tony Sipp. We'll be right back. 2-1 Astros lead.
Houston Astros, as we have a pitching change. Our delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. And it's what Doug Fister did today. Had great command, working the edges of the plates, getting some calls, working well with Jason Castro, agreeing on most calls that were put down, but had a good sinker, a little bit of a cutter every now and then, good breaking ball. Encouraged some swings and misses with 5 punch outs. Only had 1 walk. Remember last outing he had 7. Did a great job with command. Got a lot of ground balls. And is still responsible for the 2 runners on those base paths right now.
2 outs, big out to get right here. Switch hitting Jed Lowry at the plate. He gets turned around to the right side now. And that first pitch in the dirt, very nice block by Jason Castro.
Sure was.
The Astros now have Will Harris loosening in the pen. That would have been devastating to have Sipp come on and throw that first pitch slipping on by to provide a run. Lowry hooks it foul on that third base side.
Oh boy, Lance.
Ball and a strike on Lowry. Off the fist, foul down the right side. Long run, Tyler White can't get there. And you see White look back up to the sky. Very tough sky. Off in the distance, we actually see a few clouds floating around. Basically just completely clear skies the last couple of afternoons.
Yeah, and you look at the shadows on the field. The sun is directly above us behind home plate, so it is in everybody's eyes out there.
The 1-2 in the air, should be easy in right field. Springer shielding his eyes and makes the catch, and that'll do it. So Sip gets it through the 7th inning. The A's strike. It's now a 1-run game, 2-1 Houston.
Coliseum, the Astros are leading 2-1 over the Athletics, and it's the top of the 8th inning. We're going to flash back and give Morgan Ensberg some love because he did have some prodigious pop when he did make contact. Going the other way, we talked about how he could drive the ball to all fields. That went over the bullpen. This is May 15th when he went 4 for 4 with 3 bombs, 5 RBIs. Oppo taco twice and then just says, for good measure, I'm going to try and drive one off the facade out there and left. 2005 was a big year for Morgan. He had 36 home runs, drove in 101 RBIs, finished 4th in MVP voting. Thought that was the beginning of some big things in Houston for Morgan.
George Springer leads off here in the top of the 8th inning. Swings on that little cut job away. 0-1 the count for Springer. It's 0 for 3 on the day. Looking for that first knock. The Astros just 2 hits as they lead 2-1. Doug Fister very good on his afternoon. Fister 6 2/3 innings, 7 hits, a run. It was earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. 95 pitches needed. And he's got that ERA down to 4.60 now. So he's been pitching well. 3 consecutive quality starts for Doug. One and 2 the count on George. strikes. Fastball at 94 to get him.
It's time to check in and see how the Astros are playing to win. Brought to you by Toyota Tundra. This young man we hit on in the open before this game, talking about Carlos Correa. Start of his sophomore season. Pitchers making adjustments to him. Has the obvious talent. Do you see the same thing happening, Ash, where he has the ability to make those changes and turn this season around, maybe put this team on his back for a little bit?
Absolutely. And to be honest, I expected probably all of that right from the start. We saw it in New York as the season began. But maybe one of those moments where you come up with the big swing and it just loosens him up. I don't know if he's gotten tied or a little overly conscious about taking. I'm not sure. But absolutely, the ability is there in spades. One ball and no strikes. Correa 0 for 1. Couple of walks on the day. And that's the big swing. He's got that big swing that's very controlled.
Yes, he does.
Felt like when he first came to the big leagues last year, showed up in Chicago at Comiskey Park and hit his first major league home run, his second game in the big leagues, and it was a monster job. Felt like he had something to show. He wanted to show the world that he had arrived. And I don't mind that attitude. I think that's a good one.
Shoot, if I had his talent, I'd be dying to show it off every day. I'd be swinging at everything. Could cause some issues.
We just saw your home run power, so you don't need to go beyond that.
Well, one thing I can say is I'm going to have more left-handed home runs than Carlos Correa ever will.
Yeah, you were much better from that side of the plate. Let's see how it works out on the right, okay?
Well, I think he's already got me beat. No, but he has to play with that edge again. I think last year he had that edge of everybody's eyes were on him and he wanted to prove them. Well, I guess prove them right, prove that he was worth that #1 pick, that #1 prospect status. Now you're kind of playing to prove that last year wasn't, just a glimpse, but it was more or less a constant flame that he's going to be playing with.
On the hands, a looper to second base. Lowry with the play. That's 2 outs. Yeah, I agree, and I think the day comes when you're looking at Carlos Correa as one of the game's truly great players, and it's going to happen for a long time.
Could not agree more. He is a unique talent.
2 outs, base is empty as Colby Rasmus, the cleanup man, stands in. Colby has one of the 2 RBIs today. Sac fly in the 3rd inning. Altuve got it going with the dinger in the 1st. That's been it, but the Astros have made it hold up with great help from Doug Fister. 2-1 here in the 8th. I don't know if they've concluded action next door, but the seagulls or whatever the birds are here have started to arrive and basically saying it's our ballpark now. Ram down the right side at the pole. It goes foul. There's that quick bat you were talking about.
He's got some quick hands. Doesn't take much to get him going. He's got good fast twitch muscles. You see it that long and able to stay back on it like that. Great job of getting the barrel on it.
We've been last couple of days seeing Colby in center field, and I thought he made a really nice play today, one that probably didn't show it all, but a line drive hit to center field. He dashed to the spot, made the play routinely, and it's one of those plays that can easily get messed up. He's a good outfielder. Will Harris continues to loosen for the Astros in the pen. Hasn't been a big series with the bat, as you see Harris. He's loose down there and no doubt coming on for the 8th inning. For Colby, not a big series with the bat, and yet Big RBI today. Slices it foul to the seats. There are not a ton of Oakland A's fans, generally speaking, at the games, but they'll show up all regaled in their A's uniforms and they'll make some noise.
There's no doubt on the noise part.
Colby hits it high and fairly deep to right. Reddick has dealt with that sun before and makes the play. A 1-2-3-8. Astros maintain that lead.
Great friend to me. I love you, Billy. I wish he was here. Lou Brock was a symbol of great base stealing, but today I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Yeah, that was the speech, and it's drawn a lot of reaction. But he is the king of stolen bases, no doubt about it, and probably undisputed the greatest leadoff man of all time.
Yeah.
Rickey Henderson.
Stolen bases, runs scored, leadoff home runs. What do you want? The guy did it.
25th anniversary of that speech and the stolen base. He picked up third base to gain that crown. 2-1 Houston here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tony Sipp is still on, and that first pitch hit in the air down the left side as the left-hand hitting Josh Reddick goes against Sipp, and the Astros get the quick out. We will take a little more glance at Rickey Henderson.
Dude was a powerful runner too. Good first step. Probably reached that top speed in about 2 steps. Might be another one of those records that's never broken. I wonder if he kept that base like he did his first $1 million check. Think he had it framed next to it?
I think that was a photocopy, because you're a fool if you don't catch that bad boy.
There you go. He's next to Lou Brock. Lou Brock presented him with that trophy.
One class fellow, Lou Brock.
There you go.
Look at the numbers on Rickey Henderson.
You look at him.
Being Rickey, he was pretty good.
He's real good. Those are all-time ranks. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody ever get to those numbers? We're not talking about hits. Of course, he's one of the guys that is over 3,000.
1,406 stolen bases, man. I just can't believe he's not #1 in this race every single time, because there's no chance in real life that Eck or Raleigh would have a chance.
No, there'd have to be a severely pulled hamstring or something going on.
Ricky should be able to run this thing backwards and beat them every time. But today was his day. You think he was bragging about it?
He is still #1. He is still the greatest right now as we watch him exult.
I wonder if it's hard to dab in that outfit.
I bet it is a little bit. We have one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Will Harris has been summoned now as Tony Sipp got the left-handed bat of Josh Reddick. And the right-hand hitting Chris Davis now at the plate as Will Harris will take over. And Harris has been really good on the season. Just another fine start to the year. 0.82 ERA, 1 run in 11 innings. First pitch appeared to be right where he wanted, just off the outside edge. Davis, the 4 hitter in this order for the A's. You get through this 8th inning and you head toward the bottom of the order for the 9th. 2-0 the count. Harris has walked only 1 in those 11 innings. He's got a whip of .7. Chopper, it's a fair ball at the bag. Marwin with that strong arm to get him. And he cut it loose.
Houston Methodist brings us our league leaders, and these are stolen bases by decades. Attempts in that left column and the stolen base percentage on the right. See the attempts going way down in the 2000s and 2010s. We all have our conspiracy theories why that was, but the 80s and 90s, those were times to get on your horse and go.
And those numbers have been tailing off. Yeah, improvements in catchers throwing, more awareness by pitchers.
I think the pitcher being involved in that stolen base situation has led to a big deterrent.
When the power game exists, the running game would seem to not have as great a need, but as the Astros were excellent in both categories last year. Bring those days back. Still near the top in each category, stolen bases and home runs. Line drive into right field. A 2-out single for Stephen Vogt. He's aboard for the switch hitting Coco Crisp. John Axford, the right-hander, continues to throw in the A's pen. All quiet for the moment for the Astros.
Running for Stephen Vogt. Now batting, designated
Tyler
hitter,
Ladendorf now is the pinch runner down at first base. So they remove the catcher Vogt. They've got some speed aboard with Crisp at the plate. Crisp is 1 for 3 on the day. Nice play by Jason Castro. It was Crisp that hit that line drive in the 7th inning to right field, sinking, that saw George Springer come on racing and diving to make the play on. On the season, Crisp with 3 long balls, hit 1 in game 1 of this series.
Nice backdoor cutter. Will Harris is one of those guys that has that natural cut. Tremendous location on that.
Crisp was 2 for 3 in the opener of the series, 0 for 3 last night. Walker doing a little yard work for the folks here. Ball and a strike on Crisp. Broken bat, one hopper, glove by White. He'll go to the bag, doing a nice job with the leather. Tyler White, and that'll do it for the A's in the 8th inning. We played 8 full. It's 2-1. Astros lead it.
Cleveland 2-1, Astros in front. And the fans have spoken, and it's time to name that Astro, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Played in the Little League World Series and the World Series. Shut down base runners and operated at high level in 90s. Those are your clues. All right, here we go.
That was well hidden clues in there.
Yeah, that was really good, Julia. Did you write that stuff?
I cannot take credit for that.
That one right there.
That was very nice.
Operation Shutdown. D. Bell.
Derek Bell. He was really good there for a nice window. Evan Gattis leads off in the 9th inning. The Astros would love to add to this 2-1 lead. Operation and shutdown in back-to-back clues. That was very nicely done. Somebody deserves a little service on the plane, I think. For Evan Gattis on the day, he has struck out, walked, and flied out. Right on the hands, it's fouled back. 1-2 the count to Evan. Fernando Rodriguez, pitcher number 3 on the hill for the A's. Infield fairly straight up for Evan as the count moves to 2-2. Low scoring affair. The Astros with a run in the first, one in the third. The A's with their only run coming in the 8th inning. Some more finals in now around Major League Baseball. Dodgers win it 1-0 as they shut out the Padres at Dodger Stadium. Tapper goes foul. Left-hander Mark Zipchinski getting loose in the A's pen. Luke Gregerson has been up and will resume in the Astros pen. You would figure Gregerson would be the man in the 9th. But it depends on what the bats do here in the top of the inning. and he surprises that Dodgers 1-0 victory over the Padres. Saw Clayton Kershaw pick up the win and the complete game shutout. 3-hitter for Kershaw. And there's Gregerson. Ball's ripped foul. Man, got by your man down there.
Good grief, Lance. It's perfectly located too. Shift was on. He was in place. Right by him. I think he panicked when he realized how hard that ball was hit.
He didn't go Olay though. I've got to hand him that.
Yeah, he just straight whiffed it. Yep, a little pat on the head. We'll get him next time, kid. Oh, we've even got a super mo. Kind of short hopped him a little bit, but
that's not an easy play. I think you've been a little harsh.
You're gonna get a little glove on it though, at least a piece of the leather.
Gaddis draws the walk. It comes leading off and brings up Tyler White. Do the Astros go to the bench for a little more speed? They don't have much.
I went to work and I wanted to know who your favorite outfielder was, Ash. Who you got?
You know what? A guy I played with early was Cesar Cedeno, and he could really play. I want to tell you, he was as talented as anybody I've seen through the years. And I played with some really good outfielders too, but Cesar could go get it. He could swing the bat. He could run the bases. He was a legitimate, immediate superstar when he came to the big leagues.
He's got great numbers.
I'll throw a little love in the way of Cesar Cedeno. But you know what? I played with some good outfielders like Terry Poole and Jose Cruz wasn't bad, and certainly enjoyed my time with those guys in the Astros uni. The Astros have just a 3-man bench, and one of those guys, Carlos Gomez, is hurting right now. That leaves only Eric Kratz and Luis Valbuena.
And Kratz is the backup catcher, so you can kind of put him on the back of that list too. So AJ Hinch really only working with one player on that bench that's truly available.
So if you're wondering why not a pinch runner, there's your reason. Pitch is hit hard to center field by White. Burns back, and he'll run it down. Nice play in center field and a nice at bat for Tyler White.
I know it's an out, but it feels good as a hitter when you square one up nicely like that. Remember that feeling? Remember that stroke? Great contact off the bat of Tyler White, just not enough to get it over Billy Burns' head. Outfielders will have a tendency to play a little bit deeper late in ball games with runner at first base to keep that ball in front of them.
And Bob Melvin, the skip, is coming out. That is going to do it for his right-hander. They'll turn to the pen. Mark Zepchinski jogs it in. The Astros still on top by a run. We'll be right back. Trying to get one win here in this 3-game series. Lead it 2-1. We're in the 9th inning as left-hander Mark
It's off to a pretty good start, making his 12th appearance here.
Number 20.
First one in May, has that whip right at 1, that ERA under 1. We've seen this sometimes where the opposite arm will be tough on the right-handers. Zipchinski has those numbers, 167 for righties against him.
It's one of those University of California guys. However, in this case, California Riverside.
It's a satellite school.
Yes, it is. As is that UCLA place as well, right?
Yep. Satellite school down in LA. Baby Bears.
Known as Bruins by most folks, but
Yep.
Baby Bears for the folks from Cal.
Yep.
Preston Tucker has a strike on him. Slices one foul, 0-2 the count. The Angels are in Arlington. It's a final now. The Angels down the Texas Rangers 9-6. 15 hits for the Angels against that Rangers pitching staff, and that was Cole Hamels starting. One and two the count. Josh Phegley behind the plate now. Both bullpens taking a breather at the moment. Two and two. With that loss, the Texas Rangers 14-11. The Angels are 12-13. Evan Gattis aboard following the leadoff walk. And Tucker down on strikes. So the lefty gets him, second out of the inning, and Marwin comes to the plate. Seven strikeouts of Astros hitters.
Now batting, number 9, Marwin Gonzalez.
Marwin on the day is 0 for 2. He's also walked and stolen a base. Played a solid third base. Colorado Rockies are leading at Arizona 6-3 in the 7th. KC on top of Seattle from the Emerald City. They're in the 7th inning. 3-1 KC. And a 2-0 count.
Good time to hit. It'd be nice to see Marwin get that stick going. Haven't seen much playing time, usually getting those starts against left-handed pitching. But I bet you if that bat started to go a little bit from both sides of the plate, you'd see him at third base a little more often.
Had the good year last year. In fact, very good. Terrific spring. 3 balls and no strikes. Brewers hammered Miami today 14-5. Tigers winners at Minnesota 6-5. Minnesota Twins coming into Houston. Following today's game, the Astros will get on the plane and head back to Houston. Tomorrow night it's Dallas Keuchel against Jose Berrios. It's a 7-10 start. 3 with the Twins. Colin McHugh goes in game 2 and Mike Fiers in game 3. And Marwin draws the walk. Second walk of the inning. 2 runners aboard with 2 outs as Jason Castro comes to the plate.
This would be a nice insurance run right here if the Astros could play one more.
And you know that Luke Gregerson would love that. But again, as you look at Evan Gattis at second base, really nowhere to turn here. Valbuena and Kratz, the only 2 guys on the bench. Castro has singled and walked in 3 plate appearances. If you're Evan Gattis right here, you've got to make sure you've got enough lead to score on a single.
There's nobody near him. Really be able to stretch that thing out a little bit and take a chance. 2 outs, you're off with the swing of the bat.
Little chopper's foul. Birds are definitely circling the ballpark. In the 9th inning, sorry, Blummer for the A's, bottom 3 in the order.
It's an Alfred Hitchcock dream.
I always remember the old commercial for that, the Birds movie. And the commercial said, "The Birds is coming."
When that
came out? People told me about it. I had some family members that were telling me about it when that happened. The Birds is coming.
They have arrived. Man, this could be the sequel.
It was an ominous feeling back then.
A couple of teammates, if they had a pellet gun right now, they'd be in heaven.
Never have figured out why some people like to put comments like that on others. Two and two, 2 outs in the 9th inning. It has not been excessive offense by the Astros today. 2 hits and 2 runs. Solo home run by Altuve, a sac fly by Rasmus. And now Gregerson starts to get loose again. Castro takes strike 3, inside edge. So that'll do it for the threat in the 9th inning. It'll be Luke Gregerson trying to shut down these A's. 2-1 Houston. Houston Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Toyota. Let's go places. We are headed to the bottom of the 9th inning here in Oakland. And the Astros with a shot at picking a game before leaving town and heading back to Houston. Luke Gregerson will do the work here in the 9th.
Number 3, Chris Coghlan.
Look at Gregerson's numbers on the season. He's only had 4 attempts at saves. He's been successful in all 4 of them. He's going to be facing a tough part of this A's lineup this series at 7, 8, 9.
31 saves a year ago. He's picked up 4. And the bottom 3 in the order, Chris Coghlan leading it off. A couple of strikeouts and a single for Coghlan, and he has scored the only Oakland run. To the count. So he gets right in front on his first hitter.
Some numbers on those 7, 8, 9 guys we were talking about. 8 for 17 in the first 2 games with those 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Crazy stuff. Those 3 hits came in that 7th inning when they did score that run with back-to-back hits.
Gregerson brings the 0-2. That's the put-away slider right there.
Yep. Good one down, has faith in Castro to block that pitch up.
Gregerson in pursuit of save number 55 on his career. And that slider again is grounded foul.
Charlie getting on his horse. Probably going to fight off Bracamane down there.
Gregerson really gets on top of that slider as it bites directly down. Sometimes can look like a splitter.
Good tilt.
Comes with the fastball that's fouled. Rubbing up the baseball and that life of the closer. It's a little bit different than most of the guys. Just inside.
Good try.
Gregerson takes a little walk.
Wanted that one.
Ground ball left side. Right there is Marwin. He makes the good throw for out number 1. And getting that first out so key when you're trying to lock down the ninth.
That is a big out.
So Coghlan retired. That brings up Yonder Alonso.
Now batting, first baseman, number 17, Yonder Alonso.
Good look at it. Good play by Marwin. Gets up casually, makes the out.
Has such a good arm, but also to like on that play the way Marwin went down to make sure that he stayed on it. Alonso, the 8-hitter, and we have seen evidence in the series that he has plenty of power, though just 1 home run on the season and won a game winner in game 1 of this 3-gamer. Ground ball back to the mound. Gregerson with the play. So he plays some D himself and gets a big second out.
Why not? Gregerson, when he releases the ball, actually puts himself in pretty good position defensively. Squared up to home plate, allows him to see the ball off the bat. Good quick hands, about knocked the glove off his hand.
Very nice play to get it done. Now 2 outs, bases empty. The 9-hitter Marcus Semien at the plate. And he starts the bat, and according to Todd Tichenor, he goes through. So the count at 0-1.
Good call, Todd.
Why do home plate umpires try to take that call?
Power tripping.
0-2 the count. Luke Gregerson comes in pumping strikes. Gets the first two hitters, Coghlan and Alonso, and it's down to Semien. Semien hitting just .210 as the count squares now at 2-2. A's shortstop 1 for 3 on the day and drove in that lone run for the A's. Strike 3 called, got him looking. Luke Gregerson comes in, a 1-2-3 ninth inning, and polishes it off with a strikeout to end it. And the Astros get a much-needed win in Oakland, 2-1 over the A's, and improve to 8-17. And it's going to be a little more joyous on that ride home this evening.
Sure is. Wasn't pretty, but a much-needed win to start off this month of May. Got some work ahead of him, but right now you're looking at any positive right now. Jose Altuve with that big home run to start this ball game off. You really hoped the offense would take off with that. But only 2 hits in that ball game. But the biggest thing is that that number on top is bigger than the number on the bottom. That qualifies for a win.
So that final, once again, 2-1, and the Astros